Georgia noon kick in Athens, Sanford Stadium, Coach Dooley Field. Really glad that they finally honored Coach Dooley for what he did for college athletics and college football, not just as a head football coach, but also as athletic director in the University of Georgia in the Southeastern Conference. It's well deserved, and happy for him. Georgia's got a really good football team. You start at quarterback, and Jake Fromm is completing right about 80% of his passes. I think he was 24 of 29 Saturday night. Very accurate with the football, a lot of command in what they do offensively. Obviously, he's had a lot of turns and reps, but just an overall really good football player. Offensive line's big and athletic. They've allowed 1 sack all year, and I think 18 negative plays in 5 games, which is, as much as they run the football, it's pretty remarkable. But very athletic and big up front. The receivers, the seniors, as Simmons and Cater's been a good pickup for him. Graduate transfer's a bigger guy. Some of the back shoulder balls and things does a really nice job. But they're young at receiver, but very talented. Pickens and those guys are really talented guys. And of course, the backs are outstanding. Swift and Herron and White and Cook are all very talented guys in the backfield. Do a good job of getting those guys the ball in some different ways. Defensively, very deep and talented. On the front seven, they play a lot of guys up front and roll guys in there. Play hard, play tough, play physical. But the 2 guys that jump out at me as the 2 safeties, Reed and LeCount, are really good football players. They erase a lot of things, tackle well in space, make a lot of communication, obviously, in what they do defensively, and those guys do a really nice job. A really talented specialist. Blankenship's been there a long time, and the punter's a really good player, and then they got really good team speed and returners. So got a good football team. Injury-wise, Rico, Dowdle, DeCarrion Joyner, and Rendricus Davis all practice today, and expect them to play on Saturday. And other than that, we're about status quo from where we've been. We will get Kevin Harris back at the end of the year. He's progressing extremely well off of his surgery, and we'll get him back at the end of the season. So I'll open up for any questions.
Raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you, David.
Well, how much does it help to be coming off a really good game, rushing the football with Rico and Tavian, going against a defense like Georgia? I don't think they've allowed a rushing TD all year.
No, they haven't. I think that's obviously gives you confidence. You go to Missouri and don't run the ball very well, and they did a nice job with some things, and we weren't as effective as we need to be. And then we rushed the ball well against Kentucky, so we brings you some more confidence, and we ran the ball well against Alabama, and then we've had some. We've just been inconsistent, obviously, in the one game against Missouri of running the football.
Back of the room, Mike.
Well, when you can run the ball like that, a couple weeks ago against Kentucky, is that more of a mindset, or is that a scheme, or kind of a combination of both?
I think it's a combination of a lot of things. I think schematically, number one, I think it's a mindset of physicality and what you want to be, and that's what we want to be. We want to be able to run the football and stay balanced offensively. I think it's really important to have balance offensively, because when you get too one-dimensional in our league against the schedule we have, it's going to be very difficult to move the football if you're just running it all the time or throwing it all the time. So to be able to create balance is really important, and that's something we want to be able to do. But I think there's a lot of things that go into it. The physicality of the game. You got to have talented runners, because you're not going to be able to put a hat on a hat everybody in the run game. Guys got to be able to run through contact, make a guy miss. So those are all things that I think figure into to being successful running the ball. Obviously, scheme-wise, you got to be right in your numbers and things, and those things certainly help.
Well, you mentioned balance, but just from an identity standpoint, is being able to do what you guys did against Kentucky, is that a better indication of what your offense is trying to do?
Well, again, I think that certainly, number one, to help Ryan as a young player at that position, to be able to run the football helps an awful lot. So you don't get into a one-dimensional. You change the launch point for the quarterback and those sort of things. So I think that's really important. But that's something we want to be balanced. That's what we want to be able to do. And going on the road, especially in this sort of game, you need to be able to have some balance in the run game.